Velkhana. What exactly is she? Welcome hunters, huntresses and palicos. Today we will be theorizing about the flagship monster of Monster Hunter World Iceborne, the Iceborne Wyvern herself, Velkhana. Now, this video is not an inspection of her place in the world lore-wise, but rather from a game design perspective. More to the point, I think Velkhana's presence in the game can actually be explained by the absence of two other monsters. Let us harken back to the days of yore, when Capcom had not yet blessed us with this beautiful game Monster Hunter World. I'm sure all of you are aware of a certain leaked list of monsters, this one right here. As a matter of fact, this list, as it turns out, was completely accurate, right down to the inclusion of Devil Joe appearing as the first free title update carrier, save for just two monsters, Orochi Kirin and Alatreon. Now I put it to you, gentle viewer, that Velkhana is in fact Orochi Kirin and Alatreon. Now, I'm not saying that Orochi Kirin and Alatreon fused together to somehow be something a little lesser than the sum of their parts, nor do I mean to say that a Velkhana is what happens when an Orochi Kirin and Alatreon love each other very much. It is my assertion that the original idea was to indeed have both of these monsters in the game. After all, Iceborne was already a twinkle in the eye of the developers when Monster Hunter World itself was developed. Since the base game actually lacked an ice map, it only makes sense that the expansion would rectify that. However, as a black dragon, Alatreon was never going to be in anything but G or Master rank. And I think he was at one point supposed to be the final boss of Iceborne. Orochi Kirin, on the other hand, could have appeared sooner, but it also makes sense that it would appear in the tundra. Now there's a few things going on here to support this hypothesis. First of all, Velkhana is called the Iceborne Wyvern, which always struck me as odd because she is obviously and very definitively a dragon. Isn't it more likely that the original flagship was going to be a wyvern, but later was changed to the dragon Velkhana? Even though that idea was scrapped, perhaps the moniker remained and Velkhana inherited it. Then let us look at Kirin. Why is Kirin even in the game? It's the only elder dragon that you can actually hunt at low rank, but this is a monster that doesn't appear in any of the story beats. As a matter of fact, in base world, Kirin is the only elder dragon that doesn't get its own cutscene. To put simply, the existence of it was completely inconsequential to the story of Monster Hunter World. It's not like putting in a T1 or T2 monster, which all had their own intros too, by the way. So is it not likely that Kirin was put in the game initially just to pave the way later for Orochi Kirin? Of course, now Kirin has appeared post-story for Iceborne to provide some well-deserved nutrition to a hard-working Rajang. Also, if you look at Kirin, doesn't it kind of remind you of Velkhana? Sure, there's the glaringly obvious differences like Velkhana having wings and one hell of an annoying spear tail, but when you look past that at the basic physiology, Velkhana herself has always seemed quite equine to me. The lithe body and the movements itself, she somehow seems more like a Pegasus than a dragon. Now, for the moveset, I think the ice walls were originally supposed to belong to Orochi Kirin. Seeing as how annoying regular Kirin is with the thunder element, It would fit right in with making Orochi Kirin just as annoying. What about Alatreon then? The second part of this equation is self-explanatory. As a Fifth Fleet hunter myself, I have not personally experienced this, but Velkhana has a certain move borrowed straight from Alatreon. I'm referring, of course, to the instantly condensed ice crystals she drops all around her. Alatreon had the move as basically his ultimate, but Velkhana has it as part of her ice aura. Even physically, they do share some similarities. The tall, dignified posture, the long tail, and of course the horns. Doesn't Velkhana's horn look like a hybrid between Alatreon's super weird moose-like horn and Kirin's unicorn horn? I hope I've made a case of why I think Velkhana is a result of the developers choosing not to put Orochi, Kirin, and Alatreon in the game and instead condensed both of those monsters into a single new one. The question that arises now is, why aren't those monsters in the game? Well, I've been thinking about that for a while, and I think it comes down to the unbelievable success that Monster Hunter World has so rightfully garnered. Monster Hunter World has become Capcom's most successful game ever, having sold, at the time of this writing, more than 14 million copies. All of that success, coupled with the fact that the Monster Hunter series has recently celebrated its 15th anniversary, leads me to think that the developers have upped the ante. Now here's where things get exciting. I think that for such a monumental achievement, they are going to bring back the ultimate big boss of the series, Fatalis. Yes, the case for a Fatalis comeback does keep getting stronger, with the most recent hint in-game being when we defeated Safijiva and talked to the Seeker. He was all like, "So, Safi be changing things around these parts." Bruh, same. Hope we don't get hunted too, lols. This was, of course, a reference to the Great Dragon War and how Fatalis basically destroyed the people who came before for having way too much hubris. Having two black dragons in one game seems like a bit of overkill, so I think that's the reason Alatreon got snubbed. Also, the entire Monster Hunter community seems to agree that Fatalis was done dirty with his fight in previous games and needs to be updated to match his lore. So, looking forward to the future of the game, I think it's safe to assume that according to the roadmap laid out ahead, we would probably be seeing Fatalis come back as the fan favorite monster in May. At this point, you might be asking, but Fatalis, isn't he too big a deal to be announced this early? And I would agree with you if not for one little detail. Fatalis has variants. Yes, I think Fatalis will be released in May. And then much later on, we might get Crimson Fatalis. And if I'm right about all this, that the final boss of Iceborne will be White Fatalis, the last monster added to the game. We know that new monsters, plural, are coming to the game from June and later, but we don't know what those will be. Of course, if a few days from now they announce that one of the upcoming variants is Orochi Kirin and Alatreon is actually coming later, then I guess this video is gonna be super embarrassing for me, but hey, them's the risks we take. So, what do you guys think? Do you think I'm on the mark here or am I way off? Do you see something here that I don't? Let me know in the comments down below, and hey, if you like this video then please like this video, and if you want more content like this then please consider subscribing. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, keep on hunting.